Yo, this is your boy Mitch, and we are back with another beautiful build video. This will be episode 3 of our beautiful build series, and we will be checking out SRT Cal and his SRT Demon 170 Trackhawk swap, price of $300. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into the video. This video is kind of long, but it's a dope one. It's actually an insane build. It got a lot of recognition last year, especially when it was done, but let's reminisce. So we got the 2020 Trackhawk donor car. Then you got the Chrysler 300 donor car, 2016 300S alloy. I assume the motor's blown. I heard those V6s are trash though. Damn, they are stripping this thing down to the bone. All right, 7 months. 7 months later, let's get a chat. Let's see what we got. If Chrysler released this from the dealership, I genuinely don't even think they could keep up with demand, even from an aesthetic standpoint. Look how beautiful that car looks, chat. Like, it's insane. If Chrysler released this, they would have never even dealt with the shit they dealt with Stellantis and everything, because Tim Kuniskis was cooking. That man was cooking with grease. If he put this in the arsenal, the lineup of SRTs, man, these would have. I think these would have sold more, if the same, if not more, than the Dodge Charger Challenger Hellcat variants.
So when I tell you I didn't skip a single step when it came to building this thing, I even programmed OEM Demon 170 keys to the car. Still got the OEM Trackhawk key, which came with the Trackhawk when we bought it. I'm telling you, man. So before we get started with this thing, I would like to say welcome back. I know I've been gone for over a month because I made a promise I wasn't gonna post any more content, wasn't gonna post any more updates for this build because I just wanted to get it done. I felt like it took too long. It's been almost 7 months since we started this thing, and I just wanted to complete it because every time I would drop a video, I felt like it was repetitive and it wasn't really going anywhere. So I took some time off. I wanted to finish the car, which is here done tonight. It's currently 2 a.m. I just picked up the car like an hour ago from Dearmore.
Bro, I give a lot of respect to the people that can like record building a car as fast and like with build. I agree with him, man. Like when I go into like deep remodels on a car, like on my cars, where the camera's down. Like I don't even, the camera's not even in the forefront of my mind. Like it's in the very back. I'm not even thinking about the camera. I just want to get like he said, I want to get the build done. I want to make sure everything's done right. I want to make sure everything's done to the best it could be done, because bro, when you're working on a car, especially like let's say you don't have a lift and you're working under the car, in the car, under the hood, bro, trying to set up the camera for all those different angles and adjusting it and accounting for when the battery dies and all these little things prolongs the build so much. But like, bro, when you lock in on it, just like in life, when you lock in 7 months, this is what you get.
Wash, and we'll show you guys all the details here in a second. But I got my Escalade back. This thing was at the dealership for over 2 months, close to 3 months, because the engine blew out after I got it, not even 2 weeks in. So got it back. I know people have been asking about that, and here it is. This is my daily driver. This is a 24, 20th anniversary Escalade V. Got the 26s on there, 4G autos with the XL caps. But anyways, nobody cares about this thing. Here is my the actual car is a 2017, but this is a Chrysler 300, completely swapped with a Grand Cherokee Trackhawk powertrain. So it is an all-wheel drive. And then I ended up upgrading the motor to a Demon 170 engine. This is a crate engine that Dodge sold a couple months ago. I'm not sure if they're still selling them when I dropped this video, but I was able to find one out of state, had it shipped in, and in the progress of building the car, I'm like, it makes complete sense to upgrade the motor and push over 1,000 horsepower. 1,000 horsepower, all-wheel drive on E85. We actually have some E85 in those tanks over there. So just take a look at this thing, man. I don't know if you guys can see this on camera. This is a wrap. The original car color is this black over here. So this is black, what they said it was. This was, I forgot the name, I'll put it over here somewhere. But the name of the wrap was Super Gloss Black Metallic. But if you look at it under these lights, here you can see it. It looks like a bronze, like gunmetal gray, and it looks crazy. Just look at that. When you pull it outside, which I'll put out here, at the end of the video so I can show you guys how it looks at night, but it looks black, but then when the light hits it, it looks like this. Shout out to the Wrap House. Wrap House tinted this car. Dearborn Hand Wash ceramic coated it. They
shout out to Wrap House, Detroit, Michigan.
Ceramic tints. So
they killed that wrap job, bro. They killed it.
The tints were terrible. Where's the key? That was actually working before, but I think when they pull the door panel off, they unplugged this. So I gotta fix that. 5% windows on the sides, and we did 20% on the windshield. So shout out to Dearborn Hand Wash for that. Shout out to the Wrap House for doing such an amazing job on this wrap. Can't even tell it's wrapped. It literally looks like paint. So I'm gonna try to get as much detail in this video as possible. Then we'll do another video with like a drive-by or drive.
My goal is to like eventually get to the point to where I can wrap a car that looks just like that. That wrap literally looks like paint.
And explain all the other stuff. So with all the swaps that I do, I put these bumpers on here. So this is a sports appearance OEM bumper that Chrysler actually sells on the new 300Cs. And instead of adding fog lights, which I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna do fog lights at first, but I didn't want to choke out these coolers. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's a cooler behind there. Well, there's actually two. There's one over there for the supercharger, and then there's one over here for the oil cooler. All right, so before we move on and talk about everything going on in the engine bay, I want to mention one more thing. And on the Trackhawks, it has a radar, like a cruise radar that's located at the lower grille. I actually removed the entire configuration when I use a Trackhawk donor car. So this car doesn't even reach for that anymore, because when you're racing these things, if you guys have a Trackhawk, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that picks up like something on the road that actually slams the brake for you. So instead of disabling it, I took off the whole configuration of the car and the computers, so it doesn't even have that system anymore. So moving on to the engine bay. If you guys are familiar with Trackhawks, the engine harnesses run on top of the strut towers. On the 300s, Chargers, Challengers, they run on the frame rail. So if you look over here on the passenger side, you have a beefy harness that goes on top of that strut tower. And then on the driver's side, you have the same thing. These each control their own specific things. So on here, this one controls the ABS unit, headlights, the washer fluid reservoir, just all the little things. And then on this one, this controls a fuse box, a PCM. I believe that also controls adaptive suspension, which I don't have anymore, and we'll talk about that here in a second. So the PCM for the Grand Cherokee was over here. That's how they are on the Grand Cherokees, the Durango Hellcats. And obviously I have no room to put it. So if you guys watched the video, I believe I showed where I unpinned, pin by pin for the PCM, there's two connectors, C1 and C2, and I backed them up, every single one, and put it in its OEM position on the 300, which is located underneath this cowl. So now if you're looking at it, it literally looks like a factory 300 or a Charger style, setup. So you have your fuse box. This over here isn't factory. This is actually on the Jeeps, and that is located over here. That's for the jump start. I still actually gotta attach this, but here is your positive terminal. Put that back. And then your ground is located over there. On the Jeeps, the ground is over there. So I made it where it's 100% functional. I mean, everything off the Jeep is used on this car, except the functions that I didn't need. Like, for example, the adaptive cruise control, we got rid of it. Another cool thing is the Jeep has the ABS pump on the driver's side. It's located right under the cold air intake, and the lines are obviously all different. So what I did was, this is indeed the actual Trackhawk the ABS pump itself, but I had to extend every single wire from this side to the side, and they actually run, you can't see it, but see that loom over there? That's actually the ABS harness, and it goes back, plugs in, and it works just like factory. I actually had to make custom brake lines because the fittings on this were different than the 300. So if you look at that, this one's actually a different color because I had to remake it, but everything, it looks like a factory. So this runs all the way through the core support. It goes underneath that frame rail, and then it goes to the brake booster. All right, guys, so two more things before we move on to the inside of the car. This here is an OEM Dodge Demon 170 cold air intake. With this, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I don't know what this does, but I had to order it because the one on the Trackhawk, it's located on the actual box for the cold air intake. So this over here worked perfectly fine. All I had to do was reorder the engine cover because the one on the Trackhawk, this vent is located towards the front, and then on the Demon 170 motor is located towards the back. So I had to order a new engine cover so that could fit right there because it has a cutout, but everything else plugs right in. And then this is pretty interesting. This upper radiator hose, I actually off like a Toyota because I don't know if you can see it. This is actually longer than your standard Hellcat or Red Eye or Chrysler 300 because this engine sits that much higher than a factory Red Eye. So the front suspension is all off a Jeep Grand Cherokee. The cradle, the knuckles, the control arms, everything is off a Trackhawk. So, naturally the Trackhawks sit a lot higher because it's an SUV. That's why this car doesn't have a hood, because I have to make a custom hood for it eventually down the line, which is probably gonna be a big ass cowl. Just a cowl to cover it up, because look at how high this thing sits. Which honestly, I'm not even complaining about it. I kind of like the look of it, but down the line, we're gonna have to buy a hood for this thing just to get it cleaned up. We'll have it rewrapped and it'll look nice and cool. All right, guys, I'm moving on to the side of the car. Before I talk about the suspension on the front and rear, I wanna talk about this badge. These are OEM Dodge Demon 170 badges, and when I tell you, I'm not even being sarcastic, it was harder to get the badges than it was to get that engine. These were so restricted that
the fact that a badge is harder to get than a whole engine, insane.
Dealers couldn't even order them. If you wanted to get these badges, you have to be an owner of a Demon 170. The Demon 170 has to be at the dealership. The tech has to write a service order to order these things. They have to take a picture of the fender. Like, it was a whole hassle.
Sorry, not an engine, a blower.
It's not what you know, it's who you know. So that's why I was able to find these. So the OEM ones, which are OEM, these are OEM. The color scheme was like so ugly. So it had the orange eye in there to represent the ethanol for the fuel. but the insert over here was like a granite gray and the outside was black. So like the color combo was terrible. And then these over here were like gray. So I took the OEM ones, which are these over here, and then I just had like the color changed out. So this is actually wrap. So the inside is wrapped in black, outside is wrapped in yellow, and the orange eye thing, we just popped it out, and I'm eventually gonna put a LED in there, a yellow LED, to give it that eye color. But these things are sick, they were just hard as hell to find. And then on the Trackhawks, that's off a Trackhawk, they say Grand Cherokee and then Supercharged under it. Obviously, I didn't put the Grand Cherokee because this is not a Grand Cherokee, but it looks really cool with the Supercharged on the door. I really didn't know how I felt about it when I first put it on, but I kind of like it now. Wheels. Wheels are off the Trackhawk. These are OEM Trackhawk wheels, front and rear. I just have different set of tires. So the ones in the front are 275s. Where is it? Oh, 295s. I just found that out. And then in the rear, they are 305s. So OEM Trackhawk wheels, OEM Trackhawk calipers in the front, but I have Scat Pack calipers on the rear, and we just powder coated them yellow so they can match the front. Because the Trackhawk calipers, for some reason, the bolt pattern was different, and it wouldn't line up to the knuckle. All right, so that's it. Well, actually, I missed one thing. The rear differential off this car is off a manual Hellcat Challenger. I think I got that right. It's a 370 gear, same gear that's in the Trackhawk. So they both have to match. That's how it's supposed to be. So that's what we did. Got that from the dealer. I ended up wrapping this the same color as the car, and it looks pretty cool. Bro, I'm gonna grab a flashlight, and you guys have to see this paint, or this wrap, I should say. Just look at this.
You're insane, dude.
It looks crazy. Like, I'm telling you, it looks amazing. But anyways, now I'm gonna give you guys a cold start. Let's use this key.
Ain't beautiful sounding.
Let me shut it off. These are OEM Trackhawk quad tips. The rear diffuser, this was pretty interesting because usually I would go with the dual exhaust diffuser, the ones that we put with the dual exhaust tips. But since we're doing quad tips on this diffuser is actually off the V6 300. So if you're familiar, the V6 300 has like a chrome bezel. It's like a fake exhaust tip. The exhaust tip doesn't even go to it. But it has a bezel, it's a chrome bezel that goes around here, and then it has like a trim that snaps in it. So what I did was I bought the rear diffuser, I deleted it and just cut it. So this part over here is shaved down, and that gives it that perfect fitting for the quad tip. So we made that
That's insane, dude. Like, just some little things like that.
work, and then I'm telling you, man, the detail, even made the license plate lights work, rear park assist sensors work. Oh, this was the brand name of the wrap in Nosatech. This is literally paint, like it has no orange peel. I'm not gonna lie to you, at first, I think the wrap that we ordered was either 3M or KPMF, but my wrapper said, hey, if you wanna pay the extra money and get the Nosatech, which was well worth it, and that's what we did. This is an SRT style spoiler, which we do on all the swaps. I also did, I don't know if you guys seen that on camera, dual strip LED side markers on the front and the rear. This one comes on when you start the car. Bro, enough of everything. Let me show you guys the interior. Tell me that ain't the craziest thing ever. I have to grab my flashlight because I want to show you guys the headliner. Shout out to Pete on that. Custom headliner, custom pillars, everything is suede. All suede. Look at the headliner. Look at the pillars right there. I'm telling you, man, I didn't skip a beat on this thing. Let me show you guys the airbag. But you know what? Let me show you guys the rear seats. because the rear seats are also custom, and I'm gonna explain why. So these are OEM factory Trackhawk seats. Only thing that we did different was in the SUV, it has like this weird bracket that makes it sit higher. We literally just chopped it off, made it flush, and it fit right in here. But let me show you guys these rear seats. Bro. These are Charger Hellcat seats that I bought off Facebook for $100, literally $100. And they have burn holes in them over here. So when I went back to fix them, I'm like, why don't we make it where the suede matches the Trackhawk? So see how the Trackhawk has leather and then Alcantara over here? So we did the same thing. We had leather and the Alcantara with the white stitching, and they look like Trackhawk seats, if not better. Custom yellow seatbelts.
They definitely look better.
Shout out to them, although they never sponsor me. They do amazing work. The material on the seatbelts are crazy too. Let me show you guys the interior now. Trackhawk steering wheel. Still has a Trackhawk badge on there. But you want to see something crazy? Look at this. Yep. All right. Trackhawk cluster. I had to fabricate this to fit in here. And then when you start it, no lights on the dash either. That is for the adaptive, not adaptive. That light is for the radar. So since the cluster isn't picking it up, there is no configuration for it. It just throws a sign that the adaptive cruise control is off. But let's start it back up. I want to show you guys the screen. This screen is off a Trackhawk. So we made it fit into the bezel. I even made this clockwork. Has the wrong time. But I wired that up. There's a switch in here. Let me start it. You guys will find out what that does later. Trackhawk screen. And then watch this. This is some like Fast and Furious shit, bro. Let me get my paperwork out the way. This is how you put the car in track mode. Bro, I mean, yeah, it has a picture of a Jeep. It is what it is. All of this doesn't work because, again, we disabled the adaptive cruise. This is what usually controls it. Let me shut it off so you can hear me. Before, okay, so you guys seen the SRT, right? Before, when you shut it off, because this was a Jeep, it used to say Jeep as a splash screen. So I was able to go in the system for the radio and change it to say SRT when the car powers off. So just a lot of Frankenstein shit, man. Just a lot of work to make this car happen. I'm actually gonna move it because I'm gonna pull it outside. All right, let's move it now. Oh, by the way, every single option works. Heated vented seats. I even use because the Trackhawks for the SUVs, they have this power outlet. If you're trying to charge your laptop or plug in like a vacuum, whatever, that is actually mounted in the center console. So if I wanted to have like an outlet, there's an outlet in here. Drive modes, I already showed you guys that. Oh, one more thing. So remember how I told you it used to have adaptive cruise control? I took out the entire configuration because we have custom coilovers on this car. This isn't running the OEM Trackhawk shocks. So
that's like the only thing that don't work too, which is crazy.
Suspension. So guess what? I got rid of the whole thing. So you don't even see suspension here anymore. Oops, go back. So now the only thing that you see is the transmission, paddle shifters, stability control, which is your traction control, the all-wheel drive, and the steering. So before it used to say suspension, and then it used to say like can't change or something over here. But now that I got rid of it, everything works. Camera, park assist, watch, hear a beep. See that? I'm telling you, like everything works, bro. I'm gonna move over there. That's why I've been gone for a minute. I was trying to make sure that this car was A1 by the time I'm done with it. I wanted to get it off the wall so you guys can get a quick walk around before I end this video, because it's been a long night. We'll soon talk about what this place is. I don't want to spoil it in this video. Just look at how clean everything is. Suspension sits perfectly like leveled. I didn't want to wear it way too high or way too low. So they're adjustable again, so I can adjust the ride height if I wanted to. Supercharged with the Demon 170 badge. The yellow touches go perfectly well together. I didn't want to overdo it by doing too much yellow on the car. So let me know what you guys think. So I appreciate you guys for being patient with this. I promised everybody that the reveal was gonna be on Sunday, which is tomorrow. So I'm literally leaving the shop. It's probably like 3 a.m. right now. Gonna leave the shop, go edit, drop this video for you guys tomorrow, so you guys can all see the reveal. And then on Monday, let me give you guys a quick insight before this battery dies. So I'm actually in the process of tuning this thing. So we're on E85. Those are actually jugs for it right there. I have a Demon 170 fuel pump from the dealer, Mopar, that we're gonna be installing in this thing. Currently, I'm running just the OG dual fuel pump off of Red Eye, but I don't think that's holding up pretty well, which we'll talk about in the next video. But I don't wanna say too much. Thanks you guys for watching. Thank you for being patient. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about the build, and I will see you guys back, on the next one.
All right, guys. So there you have it. That was SRT Cal. That build is insane. That man is a Mopar guru. The guys that wrapped the car, beautiful job. They made it literally look like factory paint. And shout out to Anosatech as well for providing such a beautiful color wrap. That was a beautiful color. But that will be it for this beautiful builds video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And I will put SRT Cal's Instagram and info in the description along with his YouTube. So see you again on another beautiful builds series video. Peace.